Oh, that's weird. Didn't pause my music. Maybe it did on the stream, but locally I can still hear it. Very strange. Anyway, hello. Hello, welcome to the stream. So today is session 7.5 of Ker Nethalas. And the reason it's session 7.5 is because on Friday when I did a session 7, I had to give up 45 minutes in because of just internet issues. I was losing connection, dropping frames, wasn't sure if anything was coming through. It was bad. So thankfully I didn't get very far into the session, so there's not really much to recap. So what happened last time is I dealt with 2 door traps, so those being, you can see we're still only like 4 rooms into the dungeon. So really not very far into this domain at all yet. But yes, I dealt with these 2 door traps. I found a weird altar in this room that, at the cost of health, will give much more toughness. That seems a pretty bad deal to me. Health is much harder to recover than toughness, but it's there. I fought a cave-bound leech, which was either in this room or this room. I can't remember which, but that was a nasty little creature. Let's find the cave-bound leech. Tries to grab onto you and then devour you. Thankfully, that didn't happen. But it could potentially have been bad. And then I gave up because of the internet issues. So we only got 2 rooms in and 1 combat encounter in 45 minutes. So we'll be picking up in this room here, where we have an unlocked door that may or may not be trapped over here. But before that, there is some thrilling news about Morkin that I want to share. So let's switch over temporarily, just scoot over to the side here, to have a look at the 5 kingdoms of the Ice Mark. So I got an email this morning from the Morkin newsletter from the creator of the game, saying, "Hello, yesterday I delivered version 3 of the beta for the 5 Kingdoms of the Ice Mark to my playtesters. My second game following Morkin, the Lords of Midnight. This is cool. I didn't even know there was a second game in the works, so I'm happy to hear there is one not only in the works, but being actively playtested." The email goes on, "This new game is set in the Ice Mark, the harsh and untamed world in which Doomdark's revenge takes place. The video game created by Mike Singleton as a sequel to the Lords of Midnight." So he's continuing, like, adapting this series of video games into RPGs, into solo RPGs, which is very cool. Then it says, "The 5 Kingdoms of the Ice Mark is a much more open and ambitious game than Morkin, the Lords of Midnight. A larger world, greater freedom of choice, and far more possibilities for the player. I'm especially pleased with how the combat system has turned out. It has evolved significantly from Morkin. There are other features I'm just as excited about, such as a full chapter dedicated to diplomacy and another focusing on creating your own open-ended adventures, which I'll talk about in more detail soon." I'm definitely looking forward to an updated combat system, because something that I commented on and chat commented on when I was playing Morkin was there was a lot of rolling in combat for relatively little action. And sometimes combat would last a really long time. There is actually a kind of set of alternate combat rules that were released afterwards to kind of try to cut down on that. But yeah, as written, the Morkin combat rules can be a bit of a slog. Which honestly is something I've also noticed in Ker Nethalas a bit. There's a lot of rolling every combat round. I guess it's maybe because in a RPG, combat is one of the more, one of the easier things to systematize. So you can just go ham on, go really, really in depth on having combat rules when we don't need so many, or something different would be better. He also says he's developing a web-based companion app that will let you explore the map of Ice Mark visually, track your position, record visited hexes, and much more. And that will be available free to all players. And most excitingly, this is going to launch on Kickstarter in the first week of June. So I will definitely be checking this out, because I had a lot of fun with Morkin. It was good. So there's this website, 5kingdoms-game.com, which goes into a bit more detail. So it is a solo and co-op game. You don't have a single character. Instead, you lead a band of characters. You lead a war band. And you venture into this world, which is divided amongst 5 kind of different groups: dwarves, giants, barbarians, the Fae, and the Ice Guards, who are humans. And it looks to have kind of let's see, somewhere on this website, we'll just kind of flip through the pages. It's not a very big website, but somewhere on here we can see that it's got the same combination of hex crawling and procedural dungeon generation that I really enjoyed in Morkin. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And the art is really nice as well. Look at these dwarves; they're pretty cool. So it's primarily a solo game, but it can also be played cooperatively with up to 6 players. I said this all the time with Morkin, but the art was cool, and I'm glad to see that the cool art has continued to this sequel game. So it comes with a set hex map like Morkin did, and then it has the dynamic dungeon generation. So the same sort of deal, where the overland perhaps is maybe not massively replayable. I'm not sure. It does look like a pretty big map. Can we zoom in on this? No, not really. Yeah, it looks like a pretty big world map, just from what we can see here. Each of the realms is quite large, so I guess there is quite a lot of exploration you can do in here. It says yes, map not definitive, but so I assume it's not going to be massively different. In addition to dungeons, there's a network of unexplored tunnels connecting various locations beneath Ice Mark. That's cool. I enjoy a dangerous fast travel system. We have like different rules for overland travel, dealing with adventure sites and cities and dungeons and so on. It's kind of similarly to Morkin, where we had like different tables for different things we could do in these places. You begin with 2 companions plus your characters. So that's 3 characters, and you can recruit up to 5 in total, plus your characters, so 6 in total. And yes, web application. So let's just slightly embiggen this. Oh, nice. This image is bigger. So yeah, you can see we've got the map, we've got our token here, and I guess these highlighted hexes are possibly the ones we could move to. We've got a description of the hex, which looks to have, oh, this is nice and high resolution. So how much it costs to move through here, how much fatigue we get. Modifiers, we can mark it as explored. Yeah, it's got a little die roll, D5. That's interesting. You don't see many games that use a D5. So yeah, I'll definitely check this out, although I'll probably just keep using the virtual whiteboard. But yeah, I'll have a look at this and share it on stream when it is available, along with the rest of the content. And let's say, illustrated by Miguel R. Mata. Let me just have a quick look at Morkin. Is he the same illustrator? Because it's all very good art still. Let's find it. Morkin. Artwork by Miguel R. Mata. Yes, it's the same artist as Morkin, so that's cool. So let's see. We have 70 named enemies. How many did we have in Morkin? Quite a lot. It doesn't look like we've got 70 in Morkin, but a substantial amount. So we've got maybe more enemies. So we have different variants for each type of enemy, with their own stats, traits, and special abilities. Okay. How the game works. So it's kind of a bit about the mechanics. It sounds pretty similar to Morkin. So it's a skill-based system, skill-based D100 system. Roll low. Skills typically range up to 80. I love this like xenomorph-looking thing here, like whatever this horrible thing is. It looks like a slight difference to Morkin is it seems to have a kind of levels of success system. So if you succeed, the tens digit determines your success level, which represents the quality of the success that might have different effects. So I'm assuming that the higher the number is better. Yes. So yes, in combat, the success level determines the damage dealt. So one of my complaints with Morkin was... so Morkin, like this, is a D100 roll under system, and normally the way you do opposed rolls in D100 systems is, let's say we got like me with the white... Oh, I don't have my dice cam on this view. Let's quickly go to the easiest die roller in a pinch. Google. Okay, so let's say that I've rolled a 31 and the enemy has rolled a 32. Here, so there are kind of 2 ways of doing opposed rolls in D100 systems. The first is you look at like how far below... Well, I guess there's kind of 3 common ways. First is you look at who has the better... If both characters succeed on their roll, you look at who has the best skill level, and that character wins, because you've both got a success, but one character is more skilled than the other, so they win. Another option is you look at who rolled highest. So in this case, the 32 would win because the 32 is under the target number, but it is higher than a 31, so it is a better roll. And the kind of justification for this is that a more skilled character can roll even higher while still rolling under their skill. The other common way of doing it, which Call of Cthulhu, possibly other BRP-derived systems use, is you kind of have different thresholds or different tiers of success. So in Call of Cthulhu, if you roll equal to or under your skill level, that is a success. If you roll equal to or under half of your skill level, that is a hard success. And if you roll equal to or under a fifth of your skill level, that is an extreme success. And then in opposed rolls, whoever's got the better tier of success wins. So this approach of where the value of the D10 determines the quality of the success sounds like the roll high approach, which is sometimes called like blackjack resolution. I think you want to roll under but high. So that's good. That addresses one of my complaints with Morkin. And this is also quite exciting. So obviously Morkin, all of the events and quests and encounters were predetermined. There's a huge list of like, let's see, 60 quests and 153 events. And yes, what was it? Events, quests. I guess the encounters also are covered by events in Morkin. But yes, there's a big list of them. In this, there is a big list, just a greater number of events, missions, and actions, and there's also a chapter about how to like create your own things yourself without just using the lists. And it has a social combat system as well. So it really does sound like a system that's kind of learned from the experience of making and seeing people play Morkin. And it just kind of sounds like the same sort of thing, but better. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. And yeah, we have a bit about the lore. Something different character races give different bonuses and things. Something I did find a little bit funny is when I began Morkin, I said it's obviously very inspired by Lord of the Rings, like some of the terminology and the way things are described. Some of these places really show the Lord of the Rings inspiration. So we've got the forests of Fangrim and Faron and Thangron. Those all sound like very slight modifications of Fangorn, right? Right, if you just like smash Fangrim and Faron together, you've pretty much got Fangorn Forest. But that's what fantasy was like back then. And yes, we got these tunnels it mentioned, where there's secret underground tunnels that kind of acts as, I guess, like kind of like fast travel network. Was the fact that quest stores reach the North Square problem for Morkin? I think it does harm the replayability in that. Yeah, the objective in Morkin is kind of, it's the same objective every time. You've got to go to the place and do the thing. Now, I didn't successfully complete Morkin, so I'm probably going to play it again and try to win it. But I feel like once you've won Morkin, where's the replayability? You could maybe do like different runs with different approaches to like challenge yourself, but it doesn't feel like it's got a huge amount of variety in it, whereas this possibly does, because it's got a much larger map and more stuff going on. So yes, this is the Five Kingdoms of the Ice Mark, coming to Kickstarter first week of June. I'll be checking it out and playing it at some point when it is available. Let's see, is there anything cool on this last page? Nope. Just this like very 1980s ZX Spectrum game art. It's like, wow. So that is the Morkin news. So I'll be playing this at some point. And another thing of note is I've worked out what I'll be doing on Friday. So I'm going to be trying Across 1,000 Dead Worlds, which is... how did I hear about it? I got an email on the there's a Morkin newsletter, so I got an email this morning saying this new game was in the works and will be kickstarting soon. Honestly, I forgot I signed up to a newsletter, so it was a pleasant surprise when I got up today. So yes, on Friday I'll be trying Across 1,000 Dead Worlds, which is a game by the same game designer as Ker Nethalas, but it's kind of more on towards the like RPG end of the spectrum. So Ker Nethalas is really, it's basically a board game, right? Like we have a character, but who they are doesn't matter. There's no NPCs to interact with. ostensibly we're searching for a way out of this dungeon, but that's just the framing device. The game is about exploring this endless dungeon and kind of seeing how long you last. Across 1,000 Dead Worlds, I've not looked into it in much depth, but as I understand it is much closer to a traditional RPG in that you have a character and like who they are matters, and you'll be interacting with other characters and things. And the it is still based around like traveling around and exploring dungeons and things, but there are other characters involved. And the kind of theme of Across 1,000 Dead Worlds is there is an asteroid which some like random Earth megacorp bought the mining rights to. This is set in the future, like 200 years or something in the future. And inside this asteroid, they discovered a huge number of alien spacecraft, all with kind of destinations pre-programmed in their navigation computers. And so crazy people make the trip out to this asteroid to live in squalor, paying huge amounts of rent to the company for the right to use these spaceships to travel to these ancient alien worlds and explore and bring back whatever they can. It is basically the book Gateway by Frederick Pohl, but in like RPG form and with a horror theme. So I'm looking forward to trying it out. It does look mechanically quite a bit more complex than Ker Nethalas, so I guess we'll just see how it goes. But yes, I'll be trying this out. And I picked up a kind of intro scenario, Karam Station Blues, which kind of takes you through arriving at the asteroid and going out on your first mission. And I guess presumably fighting some sort of horrible underwater alien bioluminescent centipede thing, if this cover art is anything to go by. So I'll probably be starting with this, as I had a quick skim through of this, and it kind of eases you into the mechanics a little bit. There's like some things where it says normally you'd roll this here, but don't worry about it in this scenario. So that might be a good way to kind of get to grips with a more complicated game. So yes, we're trying that on Friday, and that's all the intro stuff, I think. So now it is time to play some Ker Nethalas. So, as I said at the beginning, Friday I had internet issues, so I kind of had to give up like 45 minutes into the session, but not much really happened in that time. So I made my way through 2 locked doors, this one here and this one here. I found an altar, which, actually, let's look it up exactly what it does. It's like at the cost of some health, it gives me much more toughness. Let's see, where are the events? Ah, yes, an altar of sacrifice to Dimexus. This altar is dedicated to the Valorian god of pain. Sacrifice 1 health to gain +5 max toughness for the next d10 +2 rooms or corridors. That doesn't sound like a good deal to me, because health is much harder to get back than toughness. So I've noted it down as something that's there, but we probably won't use this. I fought a cave-bound leech, which tried to constrict and then swallow you. And that's kind of where I gave up, because the internet was misbehaving. So we are in this room here. Our tension die is a d6, and we have an event that will happen. This thing here will explode and shake the entire dungeon when the tension die runs out. It's event 91. And our lair die is also a d6. I think that's kind of all the stuff of note. Oh yes, my character has a cool saber, so here is the cool saber. And yeah, that's kind of everything, I think. Yeah. So yes, this new character, they are a mind binder, which means I can spend 3 ether to kind of suppress an enemy's magical abilities for a round, which will be very useful against some enemies. And I've kept the weapon master, but this time I've gone for the saber rather than the long sword. So I've got my evasive strike, my standard attack action, because it is just a strict upgrade on a regular attack. And that's everything. So let's see. So we have a door before us that is locked, actually, because that is the dark purple lilac thing. So a locked door that may or may not be trapped. I think we just want to go through the door. So let's get to our rules. Not here. Locks and traps. Okay, right. So yes, I start by making a perception check to see if it is traps. My perception, I have a -10 to my perception because I'm wearing this helmet. Which, honestly, I might take off. Like, is the helmet really giving me much? It gives me 2 protection in my head, but there's a whole rest of my body that can be struck by an enemy. I suppose the head is the critical hit location for humanoids, so protecting it makes sense. I don't know. Oh yes, I also forgot to note down XP last session, so I should have gained 20 XP for getting through 2 locked doors. Oops. So I was on 60, so I've gone up to 80, and I did a combat encounter, so that should have been another 50. So I'm actually on 130 XP now. Okay, so my perception is only a 30 with this helmet on. But I rolled a 21, that's fine. So I do learn the truth. Is it trapped? 7. It is trapped. Specifically, it is a 4 trap. It is a dodge trap that can poison me. So my dodge is 40. If I'm intentionally triggering the trap because I can't disable it, I don't have any lockpicks or anything, I get a +20 to my roll. So I'm actually rolling against a 60 in that case, which is pretty good. Yeah, it'd be nice to have some thieves' tools, I suppose. Although my thievery is only a 30, so I don't have good odds of disarming a trap anyway. Okay, let's try to trigger it and bypass it. So I'm rolling against dodge +20. I got a 74. I did not successfully dodge. Okay. A salvo of small poisoned darts strike the character who becomes poisoned unless they pass an endurance check. My endurance is 20. And I got a 50, so I'm poisoned. And I also take 2d4 piercing damage. Okay, that's 4 piercing damage. So my toughness is actually getting pretty low. And I am poisoned. Oh, I was already poisoned, apparently. I guess I'm now poisoned too. Let's see how I get rid of poisoning in this new version. Out of combat, poison can be removed by spending 1 bandage and passing a successful medicine check. Do I have any bandages? No, I don't have any bandages yet, so I'm just going to be poisoned for a while. Which is kind of rough. I hope I find some bandages soon. But Anyway, I have overcome a locked door, regardless of the method, so that's another 10 XP, and I'll move into the room beyond. So let's roll to see what sort of a room we have got. Is a corridor. It is corridor 16. This like slightly wiggly one here. Kind of a shame I've only had rooms with a single door in so far. I want some branching in this dungeon. So we go up 2 and out 1. So it's kind of coming up. Oops. Like this. Alright, so another thing I was very excited to discover on Friday, which has been lost because of the internet issues. Miro's added another zoom level. So I was like zoomed in at the maximum level drawing on the grid, but now there's a whole new set of grid, a whole new grid division if I zoom in. Anyway, it's not that exciting, I suppose. But, yeah. When a tool you use just suddenly changes, it's slightly. Hang on, this doesn't look right. Because it's not right. Because it juts out here. So right, so then this is off by 1 square as well. There we go. Okay, let's start by rolling to see if this door is locked, which is a 12 plus. Yep, 12 plus on the D20. Okay, a locked door. Another one. A locked door of unknown trapsness. But we have to roll our other dice first. So, we've come into a corridor. So, we're not rolling our lair die, but we are rolling our tension die. And then our encounter die. So, our tension die is currently a D6. Got a 6, so that remains where it is. And then for an encounter, we're rolling a 15 plus on a D20. 4. No encounter. Okay. So it's a boring corridor we pass through. And we get to another locked door. Alright. So if it's locked, all I can really do is break it down. In fact, I think this door was locked and I did not break it down. I treated it as unlocked. Oh well. Let's do this door properly. Okay, let's start with our perception check. I have failed my perception check. I do not know if it is trapped or not. But I'm going to try to break it down. So this is going to trigger the trap, and then I can proceed to breaking the door down. If it is traps, that is. So I jiggle the handle, look at the door, it all looks fine, and I charge it with my shoulder, and got a 5, so it is not traps. So this is an athletics roll, I believe. Yes, athletics, going up by 20 each round. So what is my athletics? My athletics is a 20, so not good odds, and I'm going to make a tension die roll every time. Huh, I did it first time. That's a 12, and no tension check, so burst through the door. And into a room beyond. So let's see what sort of room this one is. 44. So it is an actual room, not a corridor. And it has multiple exits. Perfect. That's what I was hoping for. Gonna have one there. One here. And the room kind of continues around. Into whatever shape this is. It goes up by like a half square. I'm not going to bother drawing it rounded. No one cares about round shapes in their dungeon. Just going to kind of be like this. Yes, that comes up here. That was right. Yeah, that's right. Perfect. So we have two doors. Let's see if they are locked. We'll start with the one on the left. It is locked. The one on the right is not locked. Okay. We don't know if they're traps or not, and we'll probably have a combat encounter in here. Okay, so we need to mark off our torch, and then roll our checks. So we've got a d6 for our tension die. That remains where it is, and a d6 for our lair die. That goes down. Man, we're moving through this dungeon much more quickly than we were the last one. And then it's a 10 plus on the d20 for a combat encounter. No combat encounter. Got a 6 rather, which means we need to roll for an event. It's a 99. That's got to be a good one, right? I'm sure it'll be fine. 99. The room must be passing near some sort of volcanic chamber because the heat in here is completely unbearable. You gain d6 exhaustion. 5 exhaustion. That's not good. Currently up to 6. And I believe 10 is the point at which it starts affecting things. Let's have a quick look. Exhaustion. Yeah, so 11 plus is when it starts to become bad. Wow, when it gets to 21, you just die. Let's not have that happen. Okay, well, I guess I'll start with the unlocked door to the east. So I can avoid breaking down doors. That's good. So let's make my perception roll. Nope, I did not succeed that. So let's just place my hand upon the door handle and open the door. Is it trapped? No. Okay, very lucky. What's beyond? Room 74. So another actual room. Only one exit though. We found like the branch in our dungeon here. It's all going to be straight lines from here. I think that's probably how long the room is. Yeah, go one space in. It's gonna come up and it goes out for it's like 2.5 squares. Gonna come back into here. Ah, so I was one off. And back down like this. No, should be like that. Okay, let's roll all of our dice and do all of our things. So torch, it goes down by 1. Got a d6 and now a d4 for our tension and lair dice. 4 on both those dice, and neither of those go down. And do we have an encounter? 7. No. Okay, so we have another event. Very event-heavy dungeon. 16. There's some... Oh, we didn't scavenge the last room. Okay, let's scavenge the last room. Pretend we did that when we were 31. What is my scavenge? 30. Okay, so we didn't find anything in the last room. But in this room, there's something of value here. Roll on the spoils table. Page 213. Oh, that's... Very sadly, that 213 is not a hyperlink. Okay, so spoils table. 6. Roll on the precious items table. 16. A relic. We didn't find any relics in the previous game. Relics. Relics are powerful, unique magic items that grant you access to one-of-a-kind powers, abilities, and advantages. Finding one of these items can change how you play the game, and really change the course of your character's fate. Characters do not need to attune with relics as soon as they're able to use them, and as such are able to use them as soon as they acquire them. Okay. I really hope it fits my build as like a sword fighter. 20. That's gotta be the best one. The Worm Fang. Please be a saber. It's a spear. Ugh. Wormfang, spear, plus d6 lightning damage. Reduce the opponent's attack skill by 5 each time you deal damage to them. That's a really, really good weapon. Forged from a fusion of mithril and a worm's fang, the spear's blade gleams with uncontained luminosity, evoking the power of both heaven and dragonkind, and etched along its shaft are intricate runes that pulse with radiant energy. As it is wielded, Wormfang burns with an inner fire, channeling the bearer's strength into piercing strikes that carry the fervor of celestial wrath. Is a spear's got to be a two-handed weapon, right? Let's have a look. So shafted weapons. Is it just not? No. I guess a spear is not a two-handed weapon because other weapons do say two-handed, like a pike. I wouldn't have expected you could like use a spear one-handed, but maybe you can. It's like a smallish spear. Well, because that's using shafted weapons. Do I have any points at all in shafted weapons? No. I have no points in shafted weapons. This is completely useless to me. Ah, that's a shame. Well, I guess I'll stick it in my backpack. That's very sad. I guess I'll copy the text in. Um, but yeah, unless I can somehow find a way to get to like level 70 shafted weapons, it's just strictly worse than using my saber. Ah, that's very disappointing. Are there any sabers? Let's have a quick look. Those container relics. Okay, there are no saber relics. I think I can possibly sell it to a merchant if I find one. Traders. Yeah, relics sell for 1,000 credits, I guess. Which would then basically let me buy whatever I want. So it has use as a store of value, I suppose. All right. So we need to check. So we've got a door here. We need to check if it is locked. It's a 12. I think it's 12 plus and it's locked. Yeah, okay, it's locked. There's a lot of locked doors here. Let's make our perception roll. Nope, failed that. Scavenge. Yes, let's scavenge. Thank you. 29. That's a success on the scavenge roll. Like, it's even on the flowchart to scavenge. I just keep forgetting it. Okay, right. So I've successfully scavenged. So let's go look at what that does. So I roll a d20 to see what I get. 8. 4 to 11. You discover D4 crafting supplies. Okay. 2. I have 2 crafting supplies. Got a lot of crafting supplies. Also, I've moved through a room. I have poisoned 2, so I should have taken 2 damage. Do I have any? I do have cooking supplies. I could camp and make a bandage out of my... Yes, I think I should do that. I'm going to camp and make a bandage and fix myself up. This room seems reasonably safe. Let's see, camping. Here we go. Resting and setting camp. This description sounds very similar to the previous one, previous edition. Yep, if you don't have a ration at hand, you can still take the cooking camp activity and consume it immediately. That's what I was kind of doing previously, so it's good to see it here as stated explicitly. You can do this. Let's see, anything different? Okay, so we've got a clarification here. So previously, if I find Ker Nethalas version 1, go to resting setting camp. Previously, there's a rest action, and some things only like happened once per rest or every time I rested, and I wasn't sure whether that meant it happened every time I camped or whether it happened every time I camped and specifically took the rest. action. But here, rest has been renamed to sleep. And there's a little bit here, yes, in this little box about resting, which does clarify that just stopping to camp does count as a rest. So it's good to have that clarified. But other than that, it looks the same. So yes, I will. I'll definitely let's make a list of what I want to do. I think there's not that much, really. Like I don't have any new magic items to attune to or anything, so I think I want to barricade. Work out how much I want to barricade by in a moment. I want to cook. Which will subtract 1 from the camp check roll. I want to barricade like enough to offset all the penalties, I suppose. I want to make bandages. I could make a lockpick. What's my thievery? My thievery is only a 30. People trying to dodge traps might actually be better. Yeah, let's not do that for now. So I want to cook. I want to make bandages. I'll make a torch because I don't have a spare torch at the moment. I will heal myself. Okay, so for healing conditions, I can do it just by spending a bandage and making a medicine check. Or if you're camping, you just spend the bandage. You don't need the medicine check. So it is better to heal at camp if you can. And this doesn't affect the camp check roll. And I think that's all I want to do specifically. So my camp check roll, I want to roll, let's see, 12, 14, 15. I want to roll a 16 plus on a d20. So let's, I got quite a lot of crafting supplies, right? Yeah, let's spend 3 crafting supplies. To get a plus 15 to the roll. So I'm then rolling 1 or higher, which means I can't fail the roll. So, okay. Right, so I just succeeded my camp check because I spent enough things on barricading. So let's work through the list. So barricade, I get 3 exhaustion. And I spend 3 crafting supplies. Cooking. I turn all of my cooking ingredients into food, which gets me 1 exhaustion. But I now have 4 rations because camping consumes a ration. And I have no cooking supplies. I make a bandage. I said maybe I should make more than 1 bandage. Yeah, let's make like 3 bandages. I think you can hold 10 in a stack. I'll double check that in a moment. So that's going to be 3 more crafting supplies, and I will spend 1 of those bandages immediately healing myself, which will get rid of being poisoned. But it gives me 1 more exhaustion. And then finally making torches. I think I'll make yeah, let's make like 2 torches, so I have a couple of spares. And that gives me 1 exhaustion as well, so I'm up to 12 exhaustion. But having camped, I now regain all of my lost toughness, so I'm back up at 31 toughness. I would regain 1 health when I'm there. I regain D4 sanity, so I am slightly down on sanity, so let's get that back. 1 sanity, okay. And I reduce exhaustion by 10, so I'm down to 2 exhaustion. And yeah, let's just check encumbrance, because I'm pretty sure it's like 10 small items you can stack up. Yeah, light items, 10 to a slot. These include torches and rations and so on and so forth. I suppose I should note down how many slots I'm taking up with these then. Because I'm using up 5 slots of things, I believe. Coins and gems also take up 1 slot for every 100 pieces rounded up. So I'm using 6 slots, actually. But nice to get a backpack, I suppose. Or some pouches, just to put all these small items in. Okay, that's my camping done. So I'm feeling better now that I'm no longer poisoned and I have some spare torches. Let's get rid of this poisoned note here. And I suppose let's just press on. So we have a locked door. We do not know if it is trapped. Let's just try to burst through the door. So let's roll to see if it is trapped. 10. It is trapped. It's trap number 10. Traps. So I triggered the trap. I didn't intentionally trigger it, so I just make a normal roll, and it's an athletics roll. Athletics is what was it, 20? Yes, okay, not great odds. Pretty poor odds, actually. 34. Yes, okay. A rush of water fills the room, threatening to drag all creatures in it and slam them against the walls, dealing 3d4 bludgeoning damage. So I rest in camp, get all recovered, and then open the door, and a torrent of water pours out, slamming me into the wall. For 8 damage. Oof, I'm glad I recovered. Okay, well, that's the trap dealt with. Now to continue trying to break down the door. So what is our tension dice? Still a d6. Okay. 8. Why couldn't I roll that a moment ago? Okay, burst through the door. Oh, die has escaped. Revealing room 53. Which is a dead end. Huh, okay. Is this the overseer room? That would be very dramatic. Let's see about tension dice and stuff. Tension die does go down. So when this next goes down, we'll have event 91 happen. And our lair die is the d4. 4. Okay, so this is not the overseer room. As cool and dramatic it would be to have the overseer in a big, pointy room, which is going to be like pain to draw. So it comes in by 2. Then it kind of comes back a bit. So it's going to go back just over 1 square. To like here. Okay. It's gonna come up to 1 into the room and kind of like here. More like this. I don't know. Sure, let's go with this. I don't care about the shape of the star. I'm just going to make a vaguely star-shaped thing. Okay, right. So, it's kind of this. Perfect. It's a star. This is exactly what is depicted. It looks identical to the dungeon geomorph. Right. So, we've rolled our dice. We need to mark off our torch and then roll for an encounter. Such a bad star. An 8. No encounter. It's a very combat light dungeon, it seems. So event 69. As you enter the room, you are confronted with an angry spirit. Give me what you stole from me, it hisses at you. Oh, give me what you stole from me, it hisses at you. Make a resolve check. 49. I'm pretty sure I don't have 50 resolve. I have like 20 resolve, I think. I have 40 resolve, but still not good enough. But yes, I have pretty good resolve. Anyway, if you fail, the spirit passes through you, stealing 100 credits. Getting mugged by a spirit. Okay, I guess it just takes the 20 that I have. Alright, rude. I mean, I didn't lose any sanity, at least. Could have been worse. But I do now need to backtrack, which will cost, I guess, not that much, just rooms. So that's going to be 2 torches and 2 tension die rolls. The tension die is currently a d4. Okay. Okay, that's a 1. So we get event 91, which was this thing down here in the entrance hall. This machine of some sorts. Let's... Yeah, little machine thing. A strange, clearly arcane artifact vibrates and shakes at the center of this room. The size of a cart, it emits heat and light and feels and looks highly unstable as if we're about to blow up. If you attempt to somehow deactivate it, which I didn't, if you fail or ignore the device, the next time a growing darkness event is triggered, ignore the results. That's now. Instead, the whole necropolis shakes as you hear a loud explosion and debris falls on you, dealing 5d4 bludgeoning damage. Ugh. Okay. So 8 plus another 2d4. 5. Okay. So we're basically as weak as we were before we caps. But it's dealt with now, at least. Right, so now we have a locked door. We do not know if it is trapped. Let's perceive. No, we do not perceive. So let's try to force the door open. It is trapped. Okay. Trap number 1. I have to dodge. I do not dodge. Arrows shoot from a hidden spot, dealing 2d6 piercing damage to the character who triggered it. 7 damage. Geez, gonna need to camp again at this rate. Down to 3 toughness. And you only recover it if you camp or like after a fight. But okay. Right, let's break the door down so the tension die is now a d8. Nope. So attempt number 2. Yep, we do it. We break down the door. No, we don't trigger the tension die. So let's see what room we've got and roll the tension die and the lair die. It's the lair of the overseer. We've got a 1. The tension die also goes down. So we've got a 2 there. And it is room 65. If this is a dead end, we'll need to like re-roll which room it is, because obviously the last room, like there can't be a dead end before you found the exit. Okay, that's fine. It'll like a T junction-ish shaped room. Okie dokie. And we don't have any way around this because we've not found any other routes or anything. So we kind of have to go through the overseer. Not too sure I want to face the overseer when I've only got like 3 toughness left though. Maybe I really do want to camp again. Or there was a not quite camp but take a breather thing. Taking a breather allows you to recover D10 plus 2 toughness, 1 health, and reduce your exhaustion by 2. It does use up 5 points of your torch, but and makes the tension die go down 1 step. But I think that's fine. Yeah. I think I'll do that. So I burst through the door, see some sort of horrible demon man in there. I'm like, sorry, didn't mean to bother you, and back out immediately to like just sit and hyperventilate for a few minutes. So let's back into this room. I also need to mark off a torch. I don't know if I'm like actually backing into a different room. I mean, let's look at the like actual entering a room procedure. Do I need to like roll stealth to get out of the room without entering combat? Once you reach the last stage, a roll of 1 to 2 on the default, it means you found the domain's overseer. You don't need to engage it if you don't want to, and can keep on exploring the rest of the domain. Okay, I guess that means I can just ignore it. So, also, I didn't scavenge the star room. Let's do that. I successfully scavenged the star room. $16. Default cooking ingredients. 4. Okay, right, so I open the door, see the overseer, and take a breather. And I guess I don't need to back off into a different room. I can just choose not to engage it. So I get D10 plus 2 toughness back. Please be 10. 2. Okay, I get 4 toughness back. Oh, that's pretty rough. 1 health. My health is at max. Reduce my exhaustion by 2, so my exhaustion is now down to 0. But I mark off 5 bits of my torch. And the tension die goes down 1 step. So it's now a default. So I could rest again, but that would trigger the tension die. But maybe it's worth it. Like 7 toughness. Yeah, I'm going to rest another 1 time. Just once, though. 6. Okay, that's pretty good. Back up to 15 toughness. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's my torch used up. So I move on to a new torch. So I'll keep it in my hand. Down to 1 there. The tension die loops, so I need to roll for a growing darkness event. Which is a D100. And then I'll go face the overseer. 46. 37 to 50. You are ambushed. Roll on the combat encounters table. Your opponents surprise you. No. Okay. Right, so combat rules, combat encounters. We've got a 6 on table 2. Is a 14, an unfettered familiar. I faced one of these in the last dungeon. Once bound to a sorcerer's will, these extraordinary entities possess an ethereal and shimmering form, translucent like a wisp and adorned with faint arcane markings that trace the vestiges of their past servitude. Though no longer bound to a master, all unfettered familiars retain an aura of magical potency, hinting at the knowledge they once acquired in their time of servitude. They roam the many arcane laboratories found in Ker Nethalas, consumed by rage and hatred of all physical beings, making them terrible foes to encounter. Okay, so when I faced this last time, I thought resistant to all physical non-magical damage meant I just couldn't hurt it, but I think resistant actually means it only takes half damage. Where is resistance? Yeah, I mean, at least it's on the player sheet. The resistant thing must be somewhere. Conditions. It's probably in like the combat section, I guess. Yeah, damage received is halved. So I can actually hurt it. I'm just less effective at doing so. But that's much better than not being able to hurt it at all. So, okay. Let's face an unfettered familiar. So I had 8 hit points. And it has surprised me. So it goes first and gets a plus 20 to its combat skill in this first round. Although it just does it does entirely magical attacks, so it's the plus 20 doesn't actually matter here. So I'm just rolling a d6 to tell me what it does, and then I'm rolling my magic resistance, which is 20. That's spell ward. I remember I was torn between, do I want to put the 40 in my magic resistance or in my sanity resistance. I went for the sanity resistance because a lot of enemies deal sanity damage, but it's always a trade-off, of course. Well, I resisted. I got a 3. Let's see. So what is this? The next time the unfettered familiar is attacked, it can trigger a magical backlash as a reaction. The attacking creature must succeed on a resolve check or take d6 arcana damage. I guess I just resisted the next backlash, I suppose. I should have saved the resistance roll until afterwards, but until it actually happened, but it's much easier, much faster to just roll the dice at once. So my turn. So I'm rolling to hit, it's rolling to defend. I need to roll for a hit location, and then I'm dealing a d6 plus d4 damage. And I am rolling against an 80. It is rolling against a 40. So I got an 83 to hit, which is a miss. It got a 24 to defend, which is a success. So it has successfully... Oh, it's going to hit it in the head as well. That's its weak point. So it has successfully resisted, so it gets to make a defensive maneuver. Defensive maneuver number 2. It reduces my armor by -1 in the struck hit location until the end of combat. So I just need to roll a hit location for this as well. 10. I don't have any armor in the 10. If that's okay. Back around to its turn. So 5. It's doing the same thing again. And I got a 21, so I did not successfully resist this one. So the next time I attack it, I will have to make this resolve check. So I was thinking earlier when I saw the description, like when I saw the email about the new Morkin game saying he was pleased with the iteration of the combat system, because it felt like a lot of the time in Morkin there's a lot of rolling in combat, and there really is in Ker Nethalas as well. Like a combat, look at how many dice I'm rolling for, like basically to resolve a single attack. Anyway, that's a 72 to hit, which is a success. It failed its defend roll, so that's fine. I hit it. I did not hit it in the head. So I've got a 4 and a 3, so that's 7 damage, but it is resistant. So 7 divided by 2 is obviously not... 7 is not an even number, so... Oh, hang on, I got my weapon speed, don't I? It has 5 speed. So... I did hit it last round because of my speed, right? No. No, it's not. The speed isn't added to my thing, it is subtracted from the enemy's thing. Okay, so last round is unchanged. Right, let's have a look at the dealing damage for resistant things. Okay, what about rounding, though? Like if something halves the damage, surely it needs to tell me what happens if it's an odd number. Okay, let's just skip past all this mastery stuff. When you need to round a number, always round up. Okay, right, so that means 7 divided by 2 is 4 in this case. So it takes 4 points of damage. So it's down to 4 health. That's good. And it's its turn. So let's just check the speed thing. Like, is it for all of its rolls that my speed is subtracted? Okay, a weapon speed is subtracted from the target's combat skill when attacking. So it's not making any physical attacks. So no, I guess this means that I guess this means that when I attack, my speed is subtracted from the enemy's defense skill effectively, which is their combat skill. That's what makes sense. Is a fast weapon that's hard to defend against. Okay, let's go with that interpretation. Anyway, it is its turn. It's did some arcane feedback that I didn't resist. So I have successfully struck us and dealt damage. So I now need to make a resolve check. I have failed that, but I got a double. So, oh, I guess I don't have a box to mark this to go up. So I guess that doesn't go up. But I failed to do that, so I take d6 arcane damage. 6. Okay, lovely. Okay, well, the resting before facing the Overseer plan has not worked out. Right, its attack now is going for 2, an arcane burst. I failed to resist that. I rolled exactly the same number again. I rolled a 77. Dealing d6 arcane damage. Okay. 5. I can suppress its magical. I keep forgetting I have these abilities. I could have completely shut this thing down. Okay, right, my turn. I'm going to use my suppress mind ability, so it can't do anything magic for the next round. Now I shall attack it. Okay, it got a 100 to defend, which is a fumble. Does that do anything? It doesn't mention anything about critical success. I've got critical fumbles there. Fumbles. Okay, rolling a fumble when attacking makes things worse. So I guess rolling a fumble when defending doesn't do anything. It's just lost the defensive check. So I've successfully hit it. It has failed to defend. I haven't hit it in the head. That's not the weak point. So that's 4 damage. Halved is 2. Now for its turn, it can't do anything because I've shut down its magic. Back to my turn. I'm going to suppress its mind again. This is much easier now that I've remembered. I took this ability specifically to deal with magical creatures. I only wish I'd remembered at the beginning of the fight. Okay, I'll attack it again. Yep, I hit it for 3 damage. So it's 1.5, but we round up, so that is 2 damage. So I defeat the thing. Okay, right. So that is 1 more opponent defeated here. I recover D4 toughness. Okay. When I move into the next room, all my ether will recover, so I'll just mark that off now. So when I head in to face the Overseer. And it has spoils on the spoils table. It's a D6 to a mundane item. 11. A backpack. Wonderful. So a backpack just gives you 20 item slots. Yep. So that's fine. Let's just indicate that I have got a backpack. Let's highlight this in green. Okay, right. So we're standing outside the door to the Overseer room. I guess let's go in and face the Overseer. Because this plan to recover toughness did not work out. But oh well, let's go in. So Overseer is the Infernal Archon. Yeah. Let's find this guy. The Infernal Archon's very presence ignites the air, unleashing waves of scorching heat that sear the senses and smother hope. It often summons forth demonic cohorts to aid him in battle, and hurls infernal projectiles that almost immolate everything in their path. Challenging the Infernal Archon is almost equal to confronting an inferno given life, where shadows seek to engulf all in a tempest of destruction. So pretty tough. He's got 1 point of armor across his entire body. I am definitely remembering to suppress his magical ability for the first 3 rounds of combat. But he has 20 health. Okay. Right, so let's see. We've got Ruthlessness 1, which means he gets 1 extra action every round. That's pretty weak. The Veil Shifter had like 3 extra actions each round. So I'm glad. What can he do? So it looks like all of his abilities are magical. The Shadow Veil is not a magical attack. So I suppose the Suppressed Mind would not apply to it. I mean, arguably it would, but I don't know. It's the one thing that doesn't say magical, so I suppose it does go with it doesn't. But that's good, because that means that the Suppressed Mind can just completely shut it down, so I can skip 6 actions of it. The first 3 rounds, each round being 2 actions. So I just need to wail on it in these first 3 rounds and hopefully deal as much damage as I can, so that when it does start hurling magical fire at me and summoning lesser demons and stuff, it's not so bad. Right. Let's begin. So to roll perception against its mind. So I have 30 perception. So it's likely to win in a shiver, and I suppose get 1 round off where I can suppress its magic. I got a 26. It got a 47. So yes, it succeeds. It goes first. Okay. Let's work this out one thing at a time. So it is going to Use Shadow Rift. The Infernal Archon opens a rift to a realm of shadow and fire, spreading dark flames across the area. All characters must make a dodge check or receive 2d4 fire damage. Okay, so first I do my magic resistance. And I fail that. So now I do my dodge check. And fail that. Okay. 3d4 fire damage. 8. Okay. My toughness is already wiped out. This wasn't a good move, going into the fight with 6 toughness. I should have just camped. That recovers all the lost toughness. That was dumb of me. Oh well. For its second action, Infernal Barrage. The Infernal Archon conjures molten projectiles and hurls them at a target who must make a successful dodge check. Okay, so same thing. So magic resistance, which I fail, and dodge, which I fail. That is a d4 plus 2. 3 damage. Okay. I'm approaching death already. Right, now it's my turn. So first thing, I am using the Suppressed Mind. So it can't do anything next round. Then I am attacking. Okay, it got a 58 to defend, which is a failure because its combat skill is 50. I got a 29 to hit, which is a success. I hit it not in the head. I'm dealing 8 damage. It has 1 point of armor. It doesn't have any resistances, so that is 7 points of damage. That is great. So its turn. It can't do anything because I have suppressed its magic. So my turn again. I'm going to suppress its magic again. And attack again. It got a 75 to defend. That's a failure. I got a 62 to attack, which is a success. Again, I didn't hit it in the head, but I'm dealing 5 damage, which is reduced to 4. So, not great. It can't do anything again, so next round I spend my last 3 ether to suppress its abilities again. And attack. It failed to defend. I got a 18 to hit. That's a success. Again, didn't hit it in the head, so I'm dealing 4 damage in total. And it can't do anything because it is suppressed. So back around to me, but next time it will be able to act. It failed to defend again. I hit it for 4, 7, 6 damage, which is enough to kill it. Okay, this mastery. Oh, I keep forgetting about this one as well. The enemies just passively suffer a -10 to their combat skill when attacking me. So yeah, I think this mastery, which one was this? The Mindbender. This one seems really good. At least when facing enemies that attack with magic. But yeah, I took out this Overseer pretty handily. Let's see. So I got 50 more from my fighting the Unfettered Familiar earlier. And I've just defeated an Overseer, so that is another 200. 390 XP. And then for spoils, 1 roll in the valuable items table, 1 roll in the precious items table. Start with valuable items. 3. A random potion. Okay, we'll come back to that. And then precious items. 15, a magic item. Okay, a potion and a magic item. Let's get that potion first. Coagulates. Immediately removes the bleeding condition. I don't have any attunement crystals, so I can't do anything with the magic item that I find. But at least I'll know what sort of item it is. So D8. Boots. Magic boots. Unidentified magic boots. Pretty nice. I had a personal goal to defeat an overseer, which gives me an amulet. And I need to pick a new one of these. So, let's see. Magic items. Did I scroll past amulets? When you find an amulet, simply roll once on the random mastery table. $13. It is an amulet of Ritualist. So I can put this on when I camp. I think I will want to camp because I'm pretty beaten up. But let's see, what does Ritualist give me? Is this something I actually want to use? You studied the ancient words and symbols of power, granting you control over the turning of the spheres and their dominion over the material world. I can prepare ritual components from crafting supplies when camping. Okay, let's see. So the first ability I get will be Astral Punishment, cost 5 ether. You bring the sphere's punishment upon your target, dealing d6 arcane damage per ritual component spent. Okay, so I can just spend my time in camp, like building up ritual components, and then spend a bunch of them all in one go to deal like n d6 damage. That's pretty good. Etheric Blessing, recover d6 wounds per 3 ritual components spent. That's rather more expensive. Also, 10 ether. I can't actually do that one because I don't. My max ether is 9. And I have Cleanse Mind, 5 ether, which recovers sanity. I have Sigil of Power, which makes my weapon deal an extra d10 arcane damage permanently. Wow. That's pretty impressive. I think I want the amulet just for this. I'll need to invest, levels in it to get to this point. But having a cool saber that does d10 plus d6 plus d4 damage is pretty impressive. Let's see, what is that? That's like 9, like 10.5 mean damage or something. Let's check out any dice. No, 11.5, not 10.5. So that's pretty good mean damage. Yeah, that's quite good. And then Arcane Torrent. You open a tear in the fabric of reality, pouring raw arcane energies over your target. Deal 2d10 arcane damage to a single target. But you can add additional targets that cost a 4 ritual ingredients per target. Okay. So 2d10 damage per 4 ritual components spent. Let's just get just just add a thing here. Just playing around with any dice over here, so let's shrink this slightly. So any dice is a great tool for doing any sort of like dice stats. So the tier 1 ability would deal 4d6 damage, and the tier 2 ability would deal 2d10 damage. Surely 4d6 is better than 2d10. Yeah, 4d6 is better than 2d10. So I guess okay, I guess it's not quite. So the tier 5 ability does have a couple of things going for it. So the first target doesn't actually cost any ritual components at all. It's each additional component takes 4 ritual components, and it lets you target multiple things at once. So yeah, I guess if you're facing like a bunch of enemies, the Arcane Torrent is better. But if it's a single opponent, the Astral Punishment is better. Oh, it's done the thing where it picks up just a random Firefox window. Let's get rid of that. Okay, the Ritualist is kind of okay. Like, this Etheric Blessing isn't so good because I can't use it because I don't have the Ether, but the other things seem pretty good. It is pretty heavy on crafting components, though. But that's maybe okay. Right, there are 2 doors in here. Let's quickly roll to see if they're locked, and then we shall camp. North one, not locked. South one, locked. Okay, we don't know if they're traps yet. We've not found the exit yet, obviously. Oh yes, we also need to pick a new personal goal. Probably like the slashing damage one. So we've got defeating 50 opponents with bladed weapons, which will give us +1 damage. What else have we got? It's a shame I didn't take the relic hunt. I thought, there's no chance I'll find a relic, like early on in the game. It's just going to be sitting around forever. Yeah, so if I take slashing damage experts, deal 200 slashing damage, and then gain 1 slashing damage reduction, which isn't a huge win, but I don't know. Yeah, like this one's pretty good. Like necrotic damage expert. If you deal 200 necrotic damage, you increase all necrotic damage dealt by +1. I prefer like a bonus to damage than that I deal than a reduction to damage I take, I think. That seems to be a thing for like magic damage. Oh no, the bludgeoning weapon master is also +1 damage. No, that's the 50 opponents. Yeah, okay, so the mundane like damage experts, you get damage reduction, but the kind of magical damage experts, you gain bonus damage, I guess. Actually, no, that's not entirely consistent either. I don't get it. Okay, there are a lot of undead enemies. So what happens if I take wasn't there a Wraith Stalker? Triple the damage dealt with a critical strike against undead opponents. That could be good. It's not that likely to trigger, but I don't know. Yeah, let's go for it. Okay, we can scavenge this room and succeed on the scavenge check. 6. 6. 6, 6, 6. You find default crafting supplies. 4 crafting supplies. Okay, and then we should camp to recover all of our stuff and put on an amulet. So let's, again, make a list of what we want to do camping. So I want to do some amounts of barricading. So we'll want to do cooking, I guess. I don't need to make a torch yet. I've got a spare. Don't have any conditions to heal. Don't need to repair anything. You only need to be in camp to swap master amulets. If you're swapping between them, I can just put it on. Okay. Okay. What if I just sleep? I can barricade. Let's see. Reduce my exhaustion by 5 and recover 1 health. So I'd normally recover. So I give it 2 health. Yeah. Okay. Let's just barricade and sleep. I suppose I could make ritual components and start using my new ritualist stuff. Now let's just focus on recovery. I think. Okay, so I'm just rolling a 10 plus. Let's just barricade once. So I'm rolling a 5 plus. I mark off 1 crafting supplies. I mark off 1 ration. 10, that's fine. So I recover a bonus 1 health. I get 1 health back normally, so 9 health. I recover all my toughness. I guess I've got my ether back as well. I recover D4 sanity, so that's going up. Reduce my exhaustion. That's all good. Okay, and yes, I suppose I'll put on my amulet. So ritualist amulet, and let's just copy the description of the mastery in. It's kind of a shame we have this like tier 2 like dead level because I don't have the ether for it. But I might swap this out if I get a better amulet, but the astral punishment seems okay. Okay, I think that's all the stuff. I just need to find the domain exit now. Before that, I will have a brief break. I will step away for a moment, then we'll get back to searching for the exit of this domain. This very successful dungeon exploration compared to the previous game. I think there's been a lot of luck involved, but also part of it is, I think, knowing a bit more about how to play the game, but mostly luck. All right, see you in a couple of minutes. Thank you. Okay, so I've gone for the north door. It is not trapped. We're just going to go through it and proceed on. So what room have we got? We've got room 23, which is a corridor, I believe. Yep. What is this? 3 up and 4 across. And 2 more up. I think this needs to come a little bit here so it all works out. One is right there. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, it's a corridor, so our torch doesn't go down. We do need to roll our tension die, though, which is currently a d8. And for an encounter. So we're not having an encounter, and our tension die is not going down. So it's got a door at the end, which is locked. Okay. That's a pain. Getting a lot of locks doors. Well, let's check it out. Let's see if we spot a trap. We don't spot anything, so let's try to open it. Start with, is it trapped? No, it's not trapped. Okay. So we're just gonna slam into the door a few times to try to burst through it. That's a success. We open the door. The tension die doesn't go down. So we have a new room. What die have we got for escaping? That's a D10. Okay. It's room 31, which is it's this like large round dead end room. I'm just gonna draw a diamond. A diamond is a close enough approximation of a circle. Look at this beautiful circle. Alright, so what happens here? Nothing happens here. Like, our tension die doesn't change, our exit die doesn't change. So mark off 1 light. And then roll for an encounter. 17. Yes, there is a combat encounter in this room. Going to be one of these. Yep, 5. 5. A Pyreborn. Pyreborns are a particularly violent type of fire elementals, summoned by ancient rituals from the plane of fire. These creatures were commonly used as guardians by the ancient Valorians, unleashing torrents of fire. It engulfs enemies in all-encompassing flames and summoned firestorms, ensuring nothing but complete devastation. Okay, so 2 of its 3 attacks are magical abilities, so I'm feeling pretty good about this one as well. Also, I suppose since we defeat the Infernal Archon, we don't have this anymore. Let's just cross him out. Right, okay, this thing has 8 health. It only has 40 mind, but that's still better than my 30, so it's probably still going to go first. Let's see. Elemental Affinity Fire. What does Elemental Affinity mean? Elementals are restored by damage caused by their elemental affinity, e.g. a fire elemental is restored by fire damage. Okay, that's fine. They're also immune to bleeding, sickened, and poisoned. That's fine. Okay, I got a 40. I got a crit success on. No, I didn't. I got a crit fail because my perception is only 40 and it's lowered to 30. So I crit failed, so it surprises me. It goes first. So let's see, what is it doing? 4. Inferno Burst. The Pyron erupts in a burst of intense flames, forcing all creatures to succeed on a dodge check or take 2 fire damage. On a failed check, they also receive the burning condition. Okay. My dodge is a 40, which I failed, so I am taking 2 fire damage and I am burning. That's a new one. I've never been burning before. I assume this is just like damage every round like the others. Burning. A creature receives 1 fire damage when the condition is removed. In order to remove the condition, the creature must spend 1 standard action or increase their exhaustion by 2. Okay. So, not great, but it's only 1 damage. It's not terrible. All right, my turn. So I take 1 point of damage for being on fire. I'm going to spend 3 ether to suppress its mind. Then I'm going to attack. I got a 42 to defend, which that is actually a success. So its defense rolling against 55. I got a 35 to hit, so it got the better results. So, okay, it successfully defended then, which means it is going to do a defensive maneuver, for which it got number 3. I am now bleeding. Okay. I'm on fire and bleeding. All right. Well, its turn. It can't do 2 of its 3 attacks, so that's fine, I think. Yep, it tries to do an Ember Strike, but the magic just kind of fizzles out. So my turn, I take 2 points of damage. And I spend another 3 ether to suppress its mind. And will attack. And this thing's got a pretty high combat skill. Okay, got a 6 to defend. And I got a 21 to hit. So that's definitely a success. I hit it in the 15, which is not the head. Yeah, I hit it in the left arm. Okay. Does it have any armor? It has no armor. That's good. Doing 9 damage. Okay, so I have defeated it. I am now burning and bleeding, though. Those will continue to deal damage to me. So I can just deal with the burning by taking 2 exhaustion. And the bleeding, I have to spend a bandage and make a medicine check. That one didn't work. Let's try again. No, okay, so I just wasted 2 bandages, but I'm still bleeding. Let's see. I defeated an opponent with a bladed weapon. I have won a combat encounter. I also overcame a locked door. And it has spoils, so spoils table. A mundane item. $53. A flare. Like the thing that makes a bright light when it burns? Really? Yep. This alchemical concoction reacts when in contact with the air, illuminating a room. Throwing a flare into a room or corridor serves as a light source. Okay. So I'll note that down on my inventory. I have a flare. And I can scavenge the room. And succeed. Item 2. Was that the bad one? No, 1 is the bad one. 2, you find nothing of interest. So I successfully found nothing of interest. Okay. Do I want to camp to make another bandage and get rid of my bleeding? I suppose like it is only going to do 1 damage per room. I can tough it out for a while. Yeah, let's hold on for a little bit. So I will proceed to go 1, 2 rooms. That's going to be 2 damage and 2 tension die checks. Okay. And 1 light source. And then we have this locked door to the south here. So let's check it out for traps. I am totally aware of whether it has traps or not. It is traps, yeah. Okay. What sort of trap is it? Trap number 7. Athletics. Noxious gas. Okay. My athletics is only 20, so I'd be rolling as 40. I mean, I don't already have any other options. That's the only way to go. So I have to trigger the trap and try to avoid it. Okay, I did not avoid it, so I must pass an endurance check. Nope. Okay, so that's 2d4 poison damage. Which thankfully doesn't actually poison me, I guess. Like, it doesn't deal ongoing damage, it's just a one-time thing. 6 damage. But I get the door open. I've overcome... Wait, no, I've not burst through the door yet. Is it locked? Yeah, it is locked. Okay, so now I burst through the door. Nope, I bang against it. I bang against it a second time. The third time, and I get it open the third time. Now I've overcome a locked door. Let's see what's beyond. 17, so a corridor. I'm just gonna shrink this slightly. Let's go like Yeah, that was the right sort of shape, even if it's not the right size. It's not meaningfully different. The actual like layout of things doesn't really matter. Okay, tension die. Check. Tension die goes down to a d6. Encounter. No encounter. And there's a door. Is it locked? It is not locked. Alright, let's go ahead and perceive this door. I have no idea if it is traps or not. Let's open it. It's not traps. Okay, that's fine. It leads to an actual room this time. Room 85. Well, it's not, because that's a dead end. What about room 32? Okay. It's one of those weirdly shaped rooms. I've drawn this side wrong. So what's this supposed to be like? Kind of got it like mirrored as well, which doesn't really help. Okay, so it comes down, turns 90 degrees. Yeah, it goes back up. Right, yes, I have this room kind of jutting out down here. And like a little bit coming out like this, yeah. What a weirdly shaped room. Okay. Let's do our things. So torch. Got a d6 and a d10 for our usage dice. Neither of those go down, so we're still not any close to finding the exit. We might have an encounter. We do have an encounter. Okay. I'd love to have an encounter with a merchant who I could sell this relic spear to, but it's not going to be that easy. Okay, combat encounter. 12. A tomb crawler. Well, that sounds promising for our defeat 50 undead opponents goal. Tomb crawlers are nightmarish giant millipedes, a horror that preys on the unwary intruder's adventure into their domain. This monstrous arthropod boasts a segmented exoskeleton adorned with an array of jagged spines and bony protrusions, providing both protection and an eerie skeletal appearance. Its numerous legs propel it forward with uncanny speed and agility, and its coloration is a blend of earthy hues, allowing it to blend seamlessly with the darkness, rendering it nearly invisible until it is upon its hapless prey. The creature's fanged mandibles secrete a paralyzing venom, swiftly incapacitating its victims, which then carries away to its hidden lair for slow and terrifying consumption. Okay, so it's not actually undead. That's sad. Also, I'm bleeding, so what rooms have I gone through? I've only gone through one room. Oh, wait, it was up here, wasn't it? Yes, I've got. Yes, I did that once. I've gone into another room, so I should have taken 1 more point of damage. Maybe it was attracted by the scent of my blood. Okay, so that's 16 hit points. I'm glad that it being nearly invisible apparently doesn't affect its stats at all. Like, it doesn't have a invisibility buff. I guess it's got pretty good mind. Maybe that's what it ties into. Okay. Yeah, rolling 30 versus 60 is almost certainly going to go first. Well, we both failed, but it has the higher skill, so it goes first. Looks like it's all physical attacks, so sadly my ability to shut down magical opponents is not going to help here. Okay, it's doing attack 6, the slash. The tomb crawler lashes, slashing even, dealing 2 slashing damage. The target is now bleeding. Okay, so it got a 65 to hit, which is a miss. I got a 33 to defend, which is a crit success. So I successfully defended, and I do defensive maneuver number 6. I add plus 1d6 to my damage pool for my next attack. Alright, so I'm rolling a bunch of dice now. Okay, got a 79 to defense. It failed to defend. I got a 75 to hit. Oops. Which is a success because I'm rolling against 80. Plus 10 because I'm the initiator. This round plus 10 because I'm a weapon master. So I hit, dealing 2d6 plus d4 damage. So 6 damage in total. Is it armored? It has 2 armor on its body. I hit the body, so I only deal 4 damage. Okay, it's turn again. It's going for another slash. Got an 82 to hit this time, so it still failed. I got an 86 to defend, so I did not get a defensive move off there. We just both missed each other. Okay, 21 to hit, 73 to defend. So I hit it. I hit it on the body again. So that's 5 damage. It's now going for a spine strike. The tomb crawler raises its segmented body and lashes out with its jagged spines, dealing d6 piercing damage on a hit. Okay. It got a 53, which is also a miss. And I got a 50 to defend, so I do defensive maneuver number 1. My next attack gets an additional plus 10 to the combat check. So my next attack, I am rolling against 90. I got a 62 to hit, it got a 62 to defend. 62 is above its combat skill, so it failed to defend. I hit it on the body again. So that cancels out this 2 here, so I was dealing 6 damage. But I'm doing pretty well, I feel. If I'd prepared some ritual components, I could be using those in this fight. Oh well. Right. So next is its turn once more. 52 to hit. That's a miss again. And a 23 to defend. I successfully defended. You are immune to all conditions until your next turn, including the ones you're currently suffering from. Oh, speaking of conditions, we've gone through like 3 or 4 combat rounds here, so I should have taken like 3 or 4 damage. Let's just say it was like 3. Just drop that down to 10 toughness. So I am bleeding. Okay, but next round I won't be bleeding because I'm currently immune to bleeding. I just like really clench my muscles and cut off the like seal off the blood vessel. Right, so my attack. It got a 49 to defend, which is a failure because it has a -5 to its combat skill because of my fast weapon. Which is good because otherwise it would have successfully defended versus my 21. And that's more than 2 points of damage, so it is defeated. Sadly, it is not undead though, so it doesn't count towards this like personal goal thing. I'm slowly working my way up to 1000 XP and leveling up. Let's go loot the body, so it's on the resources table. Nine. You find a crafting supply. Okay. I can search the room, scavenge the room, and succeed. I feel like I've succeeded on more than a third of these scavenge rolls. I'll take it. 8. Default crafting supplies. Okay. 2. Yes, we've just ended the fight as well, so I should recover some toughness. 3 toughness back. All right. So we've got, yes, we have a doorway ahead of us. Is the door locked? It's 12 plus, right? Yeah, it is not locked. Okay, let's inspect the door. I'm able to discern whether it is trapped, and it is Not trapped. Okay, let's just open it. Revealing beyond room number 16, so another corridor. This like wiggly one again. They're not getting any closer to finding the exit, really. Right, well, we roll our tension die. That's dropped down to a d4 now. We roll for an encounter. There is an encounter. Okay. It's 9. It's a Rot Walker. Which is undead. Oh, hang on. The undead is the type here. The thing said it was, yeah, it was an animal. Okay. A Rotwalker's wretched form is that of a once human creature, now consumed by the relentless march of decomposition. Its pallid, leathery skin hangs loosely from its skeletal frame, exposing festering wounds and bones in a gruesome display of mortality's defeat. The Rotwalker's eyes, hollow and devoid of life, glow with an unholy malevolent light, seeking out the living with a ravenous hunger. The stench of death and decay precedes its arrival, warning the unfortunate of its relentless pursuit, which I guess plays into its low mind, so it's very unlikely to win the initiative. Head over here. It has 8 health. I'm rolling against 30, it's rolling against 20. Honestly, I feel this helmet I'm wearing is doing me more harm than good. We both failed, so I go first because I have the higher mind. But yeah, I think after this fight, I'm just going to take the helmet off. Like, very few things actually hit me in the head. Like, it's unlikely to be hit in the head, really. It's a 1 in 10 chance, and it just harms my perception. Alright, so I'm going first. Does it have any magical attacks? No, it doesn't. Okay. Alright. Well, that's a 95 to hit, which is a definite miss, and a 36 to defend, which is a pretty solid defend, actually. So it gets to do defensive maneuver number 10 here, which is the creature gets a new turn immediately. Okay, so it gets 2 turns in a row now. This bonus one, and then its normal turn. Alright, it's doing attack 1, a Grasping Claw. It has hit with a 56, that is a miss. Okay, cool. Now for its second attack. It is using the Grasping Claw again. It's got a 10 to hit, and I have an 8 to defend, so it has successfully hit me. The Rotwalker extends a decaying arm, attempting to grasp a target with its skeletal hand, dealing D4 necrotic damage on a hit. Additionally, the target must succeed on a dodge check or be restrained as the Rotwalker's grip tightens. Okay, so D4 damage. That's 4 damage. That's a 9 toughness, and I need to make a Dodge check. So 28. My dodge is like 30 or something. 40. Okay, I dodged. That's fine then. Right, back around to my turn. Okay, got a 74 to defend. That's a definite miss. I got a 48 to hit, which is a hit. I did not hit it in the head, so I'm just dealing 3 points of damage as it has no armor. Okay, its turn. It's going for a deathly embrace. The Rotwalker lunges at a target, attempting to pull them into a ghastly embrace. The target must succeed on an athletics check or be restrained. I got a 60, which is a failure. While grappled, the target takes an ongoing 1 necrotic damage at the start of each of their turns. Speaking of damage at the start of their turns, I keep forgetting that I'm bleeding, so I'll just knock off 2 damage, 2 toughness there. So it takes 1 necrotic damage at the start of each of their turns until they break free or the Rotwalker is destroyed. The Rotwalker doesn't act against a character while they are affected by this action. It will either change target or simply wait for the character to die or free themselves. Okay, so it's actually not fighting back anymore. It's just hanging back. It's just hanging on to me while I punch it. That's not terrible. So, okay. I guess that means it doesn't do defensive maneuvers either. The Rotwalker doesn't act against a character while they are affected by this action, so it's just gonna hold on to me, and if it defends, that just means I don't do damage, I guess. So if I'm restrained, that means I have a minus something. Like, it's fairly bad being restrained. Oh, is this thing frightening? It is frightening. So I should be rolling resolve checks. So I've missed 2 resolve checks. Let's do that now. Okay, success. Success. My next turn. Failure, so that's 1 sanity damage. And 1 necrotic damage. And 1 bleeding damage. Right, so restrained. I suffer a minus 20. Yeah, okay. So I'm only rolling in 60 rather than 80. That's still pretty good, though. Yep, I got a 50 to hit. It got a 99 to defend, so it totally whiffed that. And I'm dealing 5 damage. It has no armor, so that is enough to take it out. So this horrible body thing just, like, slumps off me. So that is 1 undead opponent defeated. Another opponent defeated with bladed weapons. 50 XP. It has the spoils table. One. A mundane item. 9. D for cooking ingredients. Ah, perfect. Cooking ingredients were rather scarce in the previous run, so it's good to have a slight surplus. I can scavenge the room, and then I'm going to camp so I can deal with this bleeding condition. I've scavenged again. 9. That is crafting supplies. 2 crafting supplies. Okay, let's camp. Because I am just slowly bleeding out and my toughness is pretty low again. Okay, So, just have a look at my stuff. Let's just say I'll barricade. I'll do 2 barricades. That will consume 2 crafting supplies. I will cook. I will craft a bandage. I don't know. Let's make 3 bandages again. Let's make 2 torches. Heal. And let's make some ritual components. Let's see how many. I think I need like. It's just like 1 ritual component for 1d6 damage, right? Yeah. I may as well get a bunch of them. Let's get like 4 ritual components. So let's see how much is this going to cost me and what's the effects going to be. So ritual components reduces the camp check by -4. Can I do this as many times as I want? Yes, as a single camp activity. Okay, so this is going to be -4. This is going to be +10. Cooking is -1. Bandages are -1. Torches -2. Heal doesn't say. So nothing, I guess. What about exhaustion? I'll get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I'm going to gain 6 exhaustion. And spend... right, so I got my cooking supplies. 10 rations. 2, 5, 11. So 11 crafting supplies. So I have 5 left. I have 2 bandages. I'm going to spend 1 of them immediately to fix my bleeding. And I have 4 ritual components now. Also torches. I've made 2 torches. I now have 3 torches here. Okay, right. So I'm rolling. Okay, +10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 2. So D20 +2 when I want to hit a 12 or higher. Maybe I'll do more barricading. D20 +7. That's 1 more point of exhaustion, 1 crafting. Supply used up. Okay, right, let's go for it. D20 +7. Okay, yep, that's fine. So we get all the things. And I regain all my lost toughness. One health. D4 sanity. Reduce exhaustion by 10. Okay. And we have a door here, which is not locked. So let's also take the helmet off, because I don't think the helmet is really giving me enough to be worth the penalty to 10 perception. slightly shuffle around some things. I've also got some magic boots, but I couldn't identify them anyway because I don't have any like identification crystals. Oh, yes, we also ate a ration. That goes away. It's a shame you can't just like experiment with magic items to work out what they are. That would be kind of cool. But there needs to be some sort of downside system to it, because otherwise, like, I think all the magic items are just inherently good in this. Like, there are no cursed items. So if you could just like put some magic boots on and see what they do, there'd be no reason to have the achievement crystals. And like, no reason to use them rather than just experiment with it. Okay, right. So it is not locked. 33. Is that a success with my perception? It is. Okay, so I know whether it is. Trapped. It is not trapped. Okay, I'll just open the door. Revealing beyond room 85. Or not, because that's a dead end. Let's go to room 86, I guess. There's this one again. I'll put the exit door like on the left here because we're kind of starting to get towards the bottom here. Wow, it fits perfectly. It's almost as if it was designed, which is funny because it wasn't. Oh no, where's the... where's the point? Okay. I guess that should be slightly like there, I suppose. Anyway, so I got... Go up here. Then over here, we'll just come down like this. We've got some square blobs. Put in like this. Okay. Right, so tension die is a D4, exit die is still a D10. Okay, neither of those go down. Still no closer to finding the exit. Torch goes down. Potentially got an encounter. No encounter. That means we have event 73. You have walked into some sort of summoning as a lone warlock performs a forbidden ritual within a circle. Everything inside of you is screaming at you to interrupt the ritual. Perform a stealth check to sneak behind the warlock and take them out. Not super... Yeah, I have no stealth. Okay. So I fail. The warlock hears me and quickly casts some sort of spell on you. You wake up hours later, alive but confused. Increase your exhaustion by 2 and roll on the growing darkness table. It could have been worse. So, growing darkness, number 30. Yes, just 30. You need a break. You can barely keep your eyes open. The next time you're attacked, your opponent surprises you. That kind of makes sense. I've woken up all groggy after being magicked for hours. Well, let's scavenge the room. Nope. And let's see if the door is locked. It is. It's so locked. Few doors are as locked as this one. Probably the warlock did it. Oh, is it trapped? If it is, I know about it. It is not trapped. Okay, so I can just safely break the door down. Okay, I fail, and the tension die pings, so something happens. $64. A swarm of hellbats surround you. Make a successful check with your weapon skill of choice. If you pass it, receive 10 XP, but if you fail, you suffer D10 slashing damage. Okay. It kind of makes sense to have this like hooked up with the surprise thing. So I guess I don't know if this game has like a disadvantage mechanic. I don't think I've seen it anywhere, but I'll roll with disadvantage. So I'll roll twice and take the worst result. That's resolving both those things at once. Okay, so 70. So I definitely don't spot the swarm of hellbats coming. So I suffer D10 slashing damage. 8. Yeah, there is a lot of rolling in this. It's very repetitive. I was saying at the beginning, it's basically a board game, right? Like they're who the character is doesn't matter at all. Like what they want, what they're like is totally irrelevant. Morkin was a bit better than that in that way, I think, as like the events and stuff you had in Morkin led you to interact with the NPCs and kind of make choice and have to roleplay things a bit more. Whereas Ker Nethalas is just break down the door, fight something, break down the next door, and keep going until you eventually die. Speaking of, let's break down the door. Okay, we got it after that attempt with no more encounters. Yes, we still need a trader to sell the relics. The traders we get from one of the events. It's like events 20 to 30 or something, I think. Yeah, events 21 to 30, you found a trader. So it's pretty unlikely to find a trader, actually, because you need to not have a combat encounter, because you only roll events if you don't have a combat encounter, and then you have a 1 in 10 chance. So it's pretty unlikely. Especially because in a room, we have a combat encounter if I roll a 10... Yeah, in a room, there's a 50-50 chance of a combat encounter. So it's like a... it's like a 1 in 20 chance, I suppose, of finding a trader, right? That needs to not be an encounter, then it's 1 in 10 after that. It's like going to every room and roll a d20. If it's a nat 20, there's a trader, pretty much. We have a corridor number 10. It's just a straight line. Yes, this is definitely much more combat heavy. Speaking of, we're having a combat encounter in this corridor. Also need to roll the tension die. Doesn't happen there. Is monster number 16. A flesh melt slime. Sounds unpleasant. This abominable ooze, which is undead, that's good, it'll count towards my personal goal, is a repulsive amalgamation of melted and rotten flesh, its form constantly shifting and quivering. Its surface appears as a ghastly palette of decomposing bodies, their tortured features forever frozen in twisted agony. As it oozes and stretches, it leaves a trail of putrid ichor and dissolving bone in its wake, leaving the very ground it touches barren and tainted. The flesh melt slime feeds on the life essence of its victims, its acidic touch melting flesh and reducing bones to a grotesque pulp. Okay, so it is an acid elemental, which means acid damage would heal it. Fortunately, I have no means of dealing acid damage. That's fine. It does have one magical ability, so I might be able to like shut it down sometime. Oh, okay, 12 health and 20 mind. That makes sense. It's a slime. It's not the most perceptive of things. So I go first. Right, so I've hit it. It has failed to defend. It has 50 combat skill. That's pretty good. Yep, it's failed to defend. It doesn't have any hit locations, so I don't have to roll the d20 for that. It's just a blob. Okay, so that's 7 damage. Yep. Okay, 7 damage. Also, I burst through a door, so that's 10 XP. I feel opening a locked door container, regardless of the method, giving 10 XP. I keep forgetting this because, like, basically, like, nearly half of all doors are locked. So it's just kind of become part of my like going through a room procedure and just like burst through all the locked doors. Okay, right, so it's attacking now. It is trying... Oh, I didn't say I was using my thing. Oh, well. It's trying to devour my essence, which is a magical attack I could have totally prevented from happening. The flesh melt slime extends a tendril towards the creature, attempts to drain their life force. The target must succeed on an endurance check or take 2d4 necrotic damage and have their toughness maximum reduced by the same amount until they finish a rest. Okay. I got a 3, so I succeeded my magic resistance, so it's fine. Okay. That's good. Right, my turn. Sure, I guess I'll spend the ether just in case that happens again. So down to 6 ether, and let's attack it. You just need to deal 5 damage, and it will be gone. I got a 2 to defend, but I got a 46 to hit. And I'm dealing exactly 5 damage. Okay. It's gone. It's another 50 XP. 1 undead opponent gone. 1 more. General opponent gone. What was this? Was this... How many opponents was this to defeat with bladed weapons? Because if it was 50, I've defeated more than 7 opponents this game. I think. Personal goals. It's like bladed weapon master or something. You defeat 50 opponents. Surely I've defeated more than 7 opponents in this game. Surely. I'm pretty sure I've just been forgetting to update this. I'm just going to knock 3 more off this. Actually, I should be able to like kind of roughly work out for my XP. So it's 50 XP for a combat encounter, so like 10 opponents would be 500 XP. An Overseer grants 200 XP instead, so let's add 150. That'd be 650 if it was an Overseer plus 9 other opponents. So, okay, maybe it is correct. Maybe it has not fought that many opponents. I suppose it has only been one dungeon. It's a relatively small one. Yeah, okay, maybe that is right. Okay, let's loot the body. I find nothing of value. Okay, fine. Let's scavenge the room. 3. I found $20. Or whatever the currency is here. 20 coin. That nicely makes up for what the ghost stole from me. Maybe the ghost dropped it here. Okay, we're coming to about 3 hours actually, so let's just check what's up with this door and then wrap things up. So, is it locked? It is locked. Let's check it out to see if we can tell that it is trapped. 35. I'm not wearing the helmet of bad eyesight anymore, so yes, that is a success, so I know whether it is. So it is locked, and is it trapped? No, okay, it's a locked, untrapped door. Which is green, because green is good. Okay, right, so pretty successful dungeon crawl so far. So we've defeated the Overseer, which was in this room. I guess let's mark this as the Overseer room. I got my yeah, this like yellow highlight. Let's cross this guy out. Put him in here, and why is that so big? It's more like it. Okay, Overseer is defeated, but yeah, still no closer to finding the exit of this domain. So yes, I guess we'll leave it there and pick this up next time. So Monday next week. Continuing to search for the exit. This isn't a room. This is a corridor. I don't believe you can. Can you scavenge in a corridor? Once per room. So I don't think I can scavenge in here. Sadly. The game distinguishes between rooms and corridors, and they have slightly different rules. Yes, scavenge is not in the corridor flowchart. Yep, nothing to scavenge. So, yep, we'll pick it up next time, Monday. That is, with trying to find the exit and so the path to the next domain. Then on Friday, we'll try out. I've closed the PDF now, but it was Across 1,000 Dead Worlds, which is a game by the same designer, but much more RPG-ish and less board gamey, as I understand it. So, yeah, that will be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And the very exciting thing is, of course, that in June the Morkin sequel will be crowdfunding. Oh, I guess not exactly sequel, but similar game by the same designer. Like next iteration of the Morkin system will be crowdfunding. So I'm looking forward to that, of course. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.